Hi sewing friends, welcome to my sewing room. It's nice to be with you today. My sewing room is pretty much empty. We've been painting and doing some things around the house. My sewing machine table, desk is still here, so I thought I'd talk about how my husband fixed up an old desk for my sewing machine. We found it at the thrift store. All I had to do was draw a pattern for him to cut the hole, and he did the rest. And I provided the sewing machine to put inside of it. So let's get started. So now that you've seen the desk, what I did for my husband is I got some paper out, made it big enough for my sewing machine, and I set my sewing machine on top of that piece of paper, and I just took a Sharpie and I drew around the edge. And I will say I made it a little big. I was worried that this hole would be too small, and I figured, oh, it's better to go bigger than smaller, and it was a little big. So you'll notice in some of the footage that he added back a little piece to make the fit more snug than it was originally, and that worked out fine too. I think he glued it, the piece that he added. I'm not actually 100% sure, but after he cut out the hole, he had to build a shelf under that machine. So the drawer does not pull out all the way, and I don't have use of the right side of this drawer. It has to be free for the sewing machine. The bottom of the sewing machine hangs down into that drawer. So I only can access really the first, 8 inches of the drawer, maybe 6 inches of the drawer, but it works out fine. And I keep some items in the drawer, not a lot. I thought I'd show you some of the things that I keep handy. I do have a few small scissors, and that's where I put my small scissors. And you can see it's kind of a jumble. That's the way I organize. I always have a screwdriver for opening my machine to clean it, and there is my quilting foot and my walking foot and a reminder to slow down because I tend to go too fast. And this little toothbrush is what I use as I go along. I brush out the inside of my machine frequently. Then I have this medicine bottle that I put broken needles, and I've had this a long time, so it's pretty full of pins and needles that are broken. It's just a safe place that I can put them. And of course I have my little needle, what do you call those, needle holder? Can't think of it right now. I have some machine needles, and I have another area where I keep needles, pins and needles, but these are close by. Of course, you need a seam ripper. We need those quite frequently, so I like to have that handy. And somebody gave this to me, a stiletto that holds things as you're sewing them. You might have something really small and it keeps it together as it goes under the needle, so you don't need to put your finger there. And I use that once in a while for small little things. And I have a special pair of scissors that I got from a dear friend that I have a little pocket. And then I have some marking tools that I keep in here. I love the clover, the white and the blue rollers for marking quilting lines or other things that come up. Needles. This is a favorite needle right here. Quilter's self-threading needles. If you have trouble threading needles, those are really nice, by Fons and Porter. I don't know if they're still available. And I do like these little scissors. They're really nice for snipping threads. So that's just a little taste of what's inside my drawer. And here's the inside of that hole. We thought we would need extra room on the right for cords, but we haven't really. And then when I used my little featherweight, it also fits in there, but I needed a couple of books underneath to make it a perfect fit. So there's the shelf that hangs under, that holds my sewing machine. He measured and made it the right size. And there are brackets in there that hold that shelf. And I put that white foam board, and it kind of helps with the movement of the machine when I'm sewing. I really like this table. Now I also wanted to mention that he shortened the table. He wanted it to be at the right height, my husband. There's those brackets that hold the shelf. So he cut the legs, and so this desk measures 29 inches tall. I love it, and it was a good deal. We got it at the thrift store, like I said, and it's been working out great. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you next time.